phone is pretty bad quality, but it's possible.
Here, I got it.
Shannon, maybe?
Yeah, I can.
Mine probably has some better.
And so
It's okay.
you
I got
guys
like
could
50
also
stuff.
you could upload them to YouTube, and then we won't have. It'll be easier
Oh, I have
to
a
share. Okay.
So again, I'm a big soccer guy. It's something I really have a passion for. I've been playing it since I was like 5 years old. I work in Fieldhouse Sports, so I can be around it as much as I can, and I ref it, so I know the game pretty well, as well as playing like year-round. And what I wanted to do in my senior project is to repay the game that I love so much by setting up a day camp for children in Lynn, Massachusetts, and research the benefits of giving underprivileged kids distractions from the temptations of like inner city life, and through utilizing sports and academics. So that's kind of the idea of the day camp. So to give a bit of background for the history of Lynn, Massachusetts, is this particular area that I go to for this mission trip, because it's worked through my church, is that 20,000 Cambodians live in Lynn, Massachusetts because of the genocide that took place from 1975 to 1979 with the Khmer Rouge. And so the government was very unstable, and they had to move over to the United States, and Massachusetts was the ideal location for that kind of immigration. And with that, so a lot of the parents and grandparents don't even speak English, but their kids are going through the school system, so they do. So those are the kind of kids that we're targeting. Through the research, it's also kind of looking at what these refugees and immigrants have to do, like what they succumb to in order to survive in the U.S., like whether it be like joining gangs or selling drugs, that kind of thing, because we did see a lot of bad stuff these last couple of years, because Lynn is inner city like that. So my goal is to run a camp with the help of my church and help to influence these kids through sports and academics. So the experience, I've already kind of touched upon it. I've been playing soccer for my club, my school, reffing, getting involved with it as much as I can, so I've been a part of it my whole life. So I do know how to run soccer camps before, and with my church also does a little soccer camp for like 6 to like 10 years old, and I've been an assistant to help with small drills, not doing too much at all, always under adult supervision. And I feel that I've kind of observed enough, and now I want to lead my own kind of camp at this trip that I've already participated in last year. And I'd be doing that over the summer. And I don't feel that the past year I had a huge influence on the kids, because I was kind of going there as kind of like a vacation with my friends, where I could help out the kids, and there was a little bit of that, but it was usually the adults that were organizing everything, and I was just there having fun, kind of observing, saying, okay, there's a situation here, and we need to help out. So the methods for work, I decided to get my mentor and content mentor to be Mr. Faries, because he's the JV soccer coach here at Bow. So if it's a soccer-oriented project, he could be good for telling me about like little kids and his experience with coaching. So I think that'd be a good decision. And he would help me plan for the camp with drills and supervise my progress really well, because he's used to dealing with kids and in guidance. So the essential question is how to keep underprivileged kids from Cambodia distracted from negative temptations and instead push forward academics and sports. So again, like I talked about, I'm going to look at the history and kind of like inner city the temptations that would be like gang life and drugs and those kind of negative aspects. So I want to interview the kids to hear their stories when I'm there, because like last year we took a lot of photos of all the kids and their interactions with the day camp, and I know that they have plenty of stories. Some of the kids that were like 8 years old were telling me some things that like I haven't even experienced in my life that are so like traumatic, and I definitely want to read articles more to like learn about the history and culture and how soccer is an effective influence for your kids. Because one of my influences to the project was I was reading National Geographic, and there was an article called Joy is Round, and it talked about all these kids in Africa who during the World Cup, they can't afford school, their parents couldn't, but they love soccer, and that's how they would spend all their days. So it was about this one Jeremy, I can't remember the last name of this, the person who wrote the article, but he went all around countries in Africa, such as South Africa, Burkina Faso, Zimbabwe, countries like that, in southern and eastern Africa, and it was tracking all the kids who used different ways to make soccer balls out of like random materials like socks, rocks, even like condoms, anything that they could to make soccer balls. It was very interesting, and it was just tracking all that, and they printed all the types of balls that they were able to make from the various materials. And for my project, utilizing the 4 C's, creativity will be with the unique ideas for each day of the camp, stressing a combination of sports and academics, because I know that going down there, everyone isn't going to be interested in soccer. A lot of the girls and some of the guys even will want to do other things. So I don't want to have it completely focused on soccer, but doing something that will include it for everyone. Collaboration is definitely going to be imminent with my church, because they're the group that is organizing this whole thing, and I've already talked to one of my leaders there, and he said that I could be a part of the committee that is planning and prepping. So that's where a lot of my hours would be going towards, to this whole preparation for this week-long event from July 28th to August 3rd. And so it falls in what I think to be a perfect time for this project, because it's not too soon and not too late, and it's something that I could only do over the summer. Communication, like I said, I really want to do interviews with the kids as well as with the staff, and the pastor of this church in Lynn, Massachusetts that we're helping out. The kids that we're targeting aren't Christian or by any means religious, but he's trying to kind of influence them, and he's giving them like food through this camp. Like he needs the monetary gain from our church to be able to give them this day camp, and so they can have that and not worry about where their next meal is coming from. So I definitely need to communicate with him and send him some emails on all the specifics. Critical thinking will be pretty difficult because it's combining my church's goals for the camp with my own requirements for the senior project and making sure none of that conflicts. And so far it's looked pretty good when I've been talking to the leaders. And to be pushed beyond my comfortable limits, I've worked with kids, I teach Sunday school, so that's something I'm comfortable with, and I like speaking and leading kids, but I haven't been really I've always been under someone else's complete supervision, like adults who are already giving me the plan, you have to follow X, Y, Z exactly, when this would be me more specifically pushing my ideas, and I'm the person that the people would look to for this project to ask me questions and everything. And measuring my success would be if my day camp is run with approximately 20 to 30 kids, just like last year. Because last year we even had the problem where some of them didn't want to come back because they didn't enjoy it and they didn't like some of the parts of it. And it wasn't a lot of kids, like 2 or 3 that it just wasn't right for them and they wanted to stay home with their family members. And I hope to open their eyes to better opportunities and positive influences. And for the project, at the end, I hope to present it with lots of video footage from the soccer events, the interviews one-on-one with staff, the pastor, and the kids, because, again, they have a lot of stories. And overall, I want to make a difference in these kids' lives this summer, alongside some of my closest friends who I've already contacted about working.